Today, I have a 2012 Mercedes E350, and I'll be going through two things. One is, how do you replace the cabin air filter? And also, how do you remove that bad smell that's coming out of your air conditioner? This often happens in the hot summer when the weather is humid. That's because there is bacteria and mold growing inside of your evaporator coil, which often stays wet and dark, which is the two things you need for mold growth. There are many products on the market today, but I've been using this product called Kool-It. It comes in a can with a tube accessorized so that you can get to your evaporator coil as closely as possible. Because to remove the odor, you have to be able to get your cleaning agent directly onto the evaporator coil. And this is one of the products that comes with the tube. Let me show you a simple illustration of your AC system. This box has a simple picture. I'm pointing to the evaporator coil where the hot air comes through and gets cold or cooled down. And the fan here is what pushes the air in through the evaporator coil, then through your ducting system, and the air then comes out through your vent grill. That's how your car gets cold during the hot summer. The evaporator coil is where essentially the bacteria is growing due to the wet and warm weather. In the instructions, you'll notice that the product is suggesting you put the product through the drain hose, which is underneath your car. If you don't know where evaporator coil is, this is the best way to apply the product using the tube applied or supplied in this product. But in our case, we're going to go directly to the evaporator coil by disassembling the cabin air filter. So we'll go ahead and show you how that is done. Luckily on the E350 2012, the cabin filter is underneath the glove box. I'll show you. So one of the first things you're going to have to do is take off this black panel. And this is quite easy. It's actually attached with just 3 screws. One here, one here, one here. You need a bit that looks like this, and you will be undoing the screws. Now that I got the 3 screws out, you'll try to undo this. But one of the things you notice, there's 2 electrical that you would have to undo before you try to undo the panel completely. There's one here, and there's one more here. So it's quite easy. Okay, you have to push down on the top to undo it and disconnect the light. This one here, kind of, if you just pull it straight out, it'll come out. There you go. It's not easy doing this with one hand. But now one thing to note, yours may not come out real easy in the beginning because you'll see this little hook. This is hooked onto the top here. So you're gonna try to be careful. Maybe push this panel to the right and try to undo this hook and then pull it down. So for now, let's move this panel out of the way. One thing I forgot to mention is when you're taking out this black panel, it makes it easy to pull this whole bottom floor down. Makes it easy to pull out that black panel here, also to install it back in. Now let's look down here. I'll show you before I start undoing it. Okay, you'll see this box here. This is your air filter. I'm going to be showing you how to take the air filter out. But before I do, I want to show you this is one of the fans that drive the air into the air filter. And then it goes into an area here that's where your evaporator coil is. Okay, so if we can undo the air filter, then you have a pretty good access to the evaporator coil in that region. So I'll be doing that. One thing to note, the air filter, there's a slide out that slides one way here, but you also notice there's a clip, metal clip here, metal clip on the other side. It's not easy undoing the clips. The best way to do it is take a flat screw head and then try to work it out. Now be careful, because when I first did that, that clip basically slung out, and I had a heck of a time finding it. So one of the things you want to do is make sure you have your floor mat down. Not like that, because if you have it like that, then you'll lose your clip and you'll never find it. Close back your floor mat and then take out the little clip, okay? Okay. There you go. This is that little clip I'm referring to. If you lose this, I don't think it's a big deal, but guarantee you it'll be hard to find if you lose it. Okay, now I'm gonna be sliding this thing out and then pulling out the air filter. Okay. Here is my cabin air filter that I just took out. At the dealer, these filters cost up to $80–$85. But you can pick these up aftermarket like Amazon for about $25–$30. You will pay a little bit more even on Amazon if you get the ones that have carbon membrane versus the regular air filter. Now do keep in mind that these filters are not responsible for your mold smell. So don't go out and buy a brand new filter every couple of months trying to resolve the smell. Go ahead and clean the evaporator coil, because that is where the most of the smell is coming from. I forgot to remind you, this foaming stuff, foaming agent, it'll leak all over, because it's going to fill up the evaporator coil area and then it's going to expand, and whatever is excess is going to make it down to the floor mat. So one of the things I've learned to do is I'm going to put down some plastic bag here to kind of protect the carpet. Alright, now I got my carpet protected with the plastic bag. One of the things you're going to do is shake this bottle real hard, maybe for 10 seconds. Okay, and then you're going to attach this little hose on top of it, just like that. The key is taking this little tip of the hose down where the evaporator coil is, okay? Evaporator coil is to the left, which is towards the driver's side. Alright, this is where the air filter came out of. I'm pointing towards the driver's side. You're gonna try to put the cleaning agent hose towards the driver's side. Okay? Don't go towards to the right, because that's just where the fan is, not the evaporator coil. So work the hose down in there and spray the agent in, the cleaning agent. Okay, now this is my first video, so I'm trying to figure out how to hold the camera and show you how to do this, but doing my best. Now you can see I got the cleaning agent hose tube, I guess, down where the evaporator coil is. So make sure, you know, having a flashlight is handy. Try to push it down in there where the evaporator coil is. Alright, here it goes. Okay, I just sprayed the whole bottle. As you can see that it's dripping, which is okay. The instructions you can see the instructions actually tell you to allow the product work for 15 minutes. Okay, after 15 minutes, it asks you to turn your car on with the fan on the lowest fan setting and for 5 minutes. You'll notice here too that the cleaning agent is coming down the drain hose. Okay, now on some cars that you don't know how to access the evaporator coil, then it's best to put that product directly into your drain hose, but on these cars it's easier to do it through the cabin filter housing. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes and I'm going to you know, I thought a lot about whether I should start the car back up with the cabin filter or no cabin filter, but I think for me it makes sense to go ahead and install your cabin filter. That way you don't allow dust and dirt into your evaporator coil, which also can do some damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together, the air filter and the panel underneath. So